tone? Me. Who? Me. Who went wrong? Me. Who got to fix it? Me. Who should we look to? Me. Yes. And then if you add another letter to M-E, you get an N. What does that say? Men. So Farrakhan called men. Why did you call men? Because in the beginning, God made man. And if we are at a new beginning, we gotta make a man all over again, but make him in the image and the likeness of God.
Assalamu alaikum. Once again, my name is Brother Abdul Haq Muhammad. I'm the student minister of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the Muhammad Mosque of Islam, number 25, which is located here in the city of Newark, New Jersey. And as a student minister of him, we are deeply grateful and highly honored for the privilege and the pleasure to be here today. On behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, we thank our sister Lisa and all of the other contributors to this most necessary event. We know that violence has been a consistent problem in our community for over the past 400 some odd years. And as a student and follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he has taught us that one of the first and most important truths that must be established in this day and time is our identity. He teaches us that because as a people, we've been robbed of our identity, again, for over the past 400 years. So oftentimes we suffer from a crisis of identity where the behaviors that we engage in and participate in is not really who we are or what we are, but unfortunately is what we have been made into. Because when you are under domination or persecution or oppression, you begin to internalize that oppression. And in internalizing that oppression, you begin to do to each other what the oppressor have done to you. So we hope to elucidate and enlighten our people as it relates to our condition and what we are and what we are not. So we pray that God will bless us with his spirit to be able to do that we, God willing, can offer some realistic hope and, increase the spirit of optimism, today. So thank you so much for having us here. We're deeply humbled by the opportunity to be in the presence of all of these luminaries who are striving to intervene and to stop the violence, that we see perpetrated in our community. So thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi, I'm Mr. Hassan Kirby, and I'm from the Community Safe Zone, also Hope, Love, and Kindness Crisis Intervention. At the Community Safe Zone, where we are comprised of Hope, Love, and Kindness Crisis Intervention, as well as the Refile Healing Academy, what we do there is offer a gamut of youth mentoring programs. We also offer domestic violence. We have a Girls Rock Saturday, every Saturday, with Chosen Inspiration, which is hosted by Sharice York, which is the director, where they deal with self-empowerment of the women and the young ladies, teaching them about self-etiquette, self-grooming, self-esteem, and self-building. And on the boys spectrum, what we do in our groups is we teach them about manhood development, anger management, and crisis intervention specialists. That's what we do over at the Community Safe Zone in the city of Newark, New Jersey. Thank you.
Peace and divine love, family. This is your brother Shalil. I'm checking in. I'm here on behalf of Reconstructive Minds, Rich Purpose, and FUF Fitness LLC. And we are here to encourage, uplift, and inspire. I hope today you hear, you listen, and you apply, because only applied knowledge will lead to transformation. Again, we're here to encourage, uplift, and inspire. On behalf of my brothers and I, we would like to thank you for the opportunity. Today is going to be one of those days. My program, we go out, we do community service, community outreach. We all about reconstructing the minds of the young males and the young females in the community. With all due respect, praise be to Allah. Takbir. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Noah Love. I'm a high-risk interventionist for One Hood. And One Hood is a public safety organization that was created last year by the Honorable Ras J. Baraka and spearheaded by our Deputy Mayor, Keisha Yuri, who at the time was the director of the OVBTR, the Office of Violence Prevention and Trauma Recovery. So what we do is we do high-risk intervention, we do public safety, we're in the schools, we're at the school, in the streets. We're the only organization that strictly deal with like high risk intervention, de-escalating the murders, the serious crimes that's occurring in our community. One Hood stands for organizing neighborhood, empowering healing, and our own development. And it's like maybe about 30 individuals from all walks of Newark, New Jersey, who's into this organization, from the East, West, Central, South, and North Ward. So that's what we do, and we're just trying to make the streets safer, and that's it. One Hood.
To ask everybody to humble themselves, right? Men. We're gonna do some men things. So we're gonna do how men really do. Back in the days when men was inside of a house or in a building, we took our hats off. That's how it was back in the days. And we want to keep that because we got some young people in here. Where the youth at? We got some youth in here that we want to set examples for. And we should always start everything off in prayer. So, Minister, can you send one of the brothers? Well, you come on, my brother. Let's start this off in prayer. Everything should be done in prayer first before we do anything. Thank you so very much.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, if you don't mind, you're going to assume a position that's most comfortable to you, okay? But we pray. Oh Allah, we beseech your help and we ask for your mercy, for we believe in you and trust in you for all that we need. We're helpers in your cause with all of your apostles. Please grant to us success. Amen.
Thank you so much. So once again, do we have all the speakers in the house? Could y'all come up and take up the front seats, please, speakers? Please, my wonderful speakers. These 6 seats are for you. Any side you want, right, left. Also, I felt it's not robbery. I don't like giving out gifts and all that other stuff. I would have brought y'all some bottles of cologne, but I don't know what y'all wish. So I kept it simple. All the speakers you have on your table for the speakers, you have what is called a tiger eye for protection and energy. So I felt it not robbery for you to have that, and I felt it not robbery for my honorees to get one also. So I want to give these to the honorees also. This is tiger eyes. You can read up on them. They're for protection. They're for energy. Because the work that we do out here, we need energy. We need protection every day. Let's not be fools that the enemy is always busy. And I'm not just talking about the enemy within. I'm talking about the enemy that's without also. Because when we say enemy, we can't just look at somebody outside of us.
That's right.
We got to think about the inner me that's in me. Because we're our worst enemy at times. We self-doubt. We don't believe in ourselves, low self-esteem. All the things that are not ingredients or byproducts of what a man is. This is a men's meeting, so we can talk now. I've been looking for these rooms where we can be honest and be transparent. And what is it going to take for us as men to get back on our square 10 toes down? So we can pass it on to the youth the way it's supposed to be passed on. Men against violence. When you hear violence, you think we can talk about, since this is Domestic Violence Month, you think we can say men against violence is just about beating on females, whether it's emotionally, mentally, psychologically. No. We're talking about men against violence on that you commit on yourself. The harm that you do to yourself by the things we put in our bodies, whether it be in food, be it alcohol, be it drugs, the things that we abuse our bodies with, that's violence. That's what that is. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring over Rodri, and we're going to get this thing started.
Peace, fellas. Today, as we gather to reflect on progress in combating violence and fostering community support, each and every person in here, participation has been invaluable, and we encourage you all to stay throughout the whole event for the award ceremony and to honor all these great brothers that have been doing the work, and that I could personally say I like to idolize, and the brothers that keep me going when I'm at the verge of crashing out, I like to show up at one of their events to motivate me to keep going. So these brothers, they was chosen as the work that they do is just obvious. Today's host, my brother, author Shalil Burnell Kazada. He's a Native American actor, author, and youth mentor, known for his dynamic presence. Growing up in Newark, New Jersey, as one of 10 siblings, he transformed adversity into opportunity through community initiatives. He has organized cleanup efforts, mentored at-risk youth, and pursued political science. His career began in Essex County as a spoken word artist and musician before transitioning to acting and music production. Influenced by figures like Brad James and Miguel A. Nunez Jr., and his book, Purposely Miseducated, addresses educational disparities, and he made a cameo in The Other Side. Shalil is also committed to philanthropy and fitness, focused on empowering young males in his community and regularly volunteering at the Newark shelter at the YMCA. His work emphasizes mentorship and positive change. I personally work side by side with this brother with motivational speaking, and he's one of the #1 most impactful motivational speakers. We go out, we travel together. He called me, now you go first, I need you to hype me up. And this brother just,
Yes, sir.
at young, when we was in the streets, we was the gang, this one person, I refused to let him be down. Always made sure he was good. He spent at my house, and he used to lift bags with cans in it. He was the good brother, and we all got them good brothers in the hood that we got to push away from getting into this. It's not for them. So I like to say, and more welcome my brother Shalil Kazada up here. He's gonna hold it down.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I don't think I need the mic. Yeah, it's an echo, man. So sorry, guys.
All right, brother.
Takbir. Takbir. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad. In the name of Allah, the Magnificent, the Most Merciful, the one God to whom all praise is due, ruler of all the worlds, I bear witness that he deserves praise with no other, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his true servant and final messenger. My beloved brothers and sisters, I am very happy and honored today to greet you. Greeting you all with the words of peace in the Arabic language. Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of my brothers and I, we would like to thank you for the opportunity to be in your presence this morning. To our family over at the Hear My Cries Foundation, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude for your leadership and continuous efforts towards leaving this world a better place than what you found it. All praise is due to Allah on your behalf. Today, we are here to encourage, uplift, and inspire, and in the name of one of the most robust leaders to have ever walked the face of this earth, our brother, El Hajj Malachi El Shabazz, formerly known as Malcolm X. So today, that is to be done by any means necessary. My beloved brothers, we have been purposely miseducated, disconnected, and derailed from our true identity. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us that in order to rise from niggas to gods, you must first understand that you are a royalty. And to be truly understanding a royalty, you must want for yourself what you want for your brother. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 18 states that the one who conceals hatred has lying lips, and whoever utters slander is a fool. Well, today, let's choose not to be liars and fools. There's a saying going around that if the devil showed up as the devil, you wouldn't do the deal with him. If your enemy showed up as your enemy, you wouldn't let him in your circle. You see, so often we're born into these diseased environments which creates the diseases that plagues our bodies and destroys our communities. But today, alongside with my brothers, I pray that you hear, you listen, and apply. Because only applied knowledge can lead to transformation. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Before we continue, I just want to take a moment to honor a brother who was like a father figure to me, a mentor, someone who gave me the nickname The Stolen Car. My brother, my dear friend, OG Sean McCray. Please make some noise for this brother.
This brother has been a paradigm in my community since before I was born. This brother is dedicated tons and tons of years to the community. I remember one year we beat him in the mayor's tournament. He like, the East Orange boys is here, they skipping school, y'all. So praise be to the Lord for my brother, Sean McCray. This next brother I'm about to bring up, I personally had a chance to hear him speak. And on my journey of becoming a speaker, me and my brother, Travis Graham Jones, who's not present now, Trav called me one day and said, listen, man, this is brother, man. We gotta go hear him speak. I said, Trav, I get it. He's all right, Trav, who is he? He said, yo, you gotta hear him speak. He gonna help us with our speaking. The way he be moving, talking. I said, all right, Trav, what's his name? He said, Abdul Haq Muhammad. I said, yeah? He said, yeah. So he came, took me, we went to mosque number 25. My brother, Abdul Haq Muhammad, he gave one of the most beautiful lectures I've ever heard. And one thing he always say that I take with me as I give my speeches is, sometimes all we can do is all we can do. I never forgot when he said that, because a lot of times we in search to fix problems that we just can't control. And sometimes all you can do is all you can do. I mean, I look around the room, it's impactful brothers, all one hood, new direction, all these amazing brothers in here who come together and go out here and try to save our community each and every day. But sometimes all you can do is all you can do. But I want to commend my brothers for not giving up. Not giving up, sticking with it, staying the course. All praise is due to Allah for you guys. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce the infamous student minister, Haq Abdul Muhammad. Please put your hands together for the brother.
Love you, brother. Man. Assalamu alaikum.
Sir.
Once again, my name is Brother Abdul Haq Muhammad. I'm the student minister of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the Muhammad Mosque of Islam, number 25, which is located here in the city of Newark, New Jersey. And again, as a student minister of him, he teaches us that it is a customary standard among all men and women of righteousness in our ever-reoccurring quest for the divine providence, protection, blessings, and favor of God to begin all things officially in the name of God. So naturally, as a Muslim or one who's striving to submit our will to do God's will, we always begin in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. However, we bear witness that regardless of name, land, or language, creed, class, or color, ritual, routine, or procedure, there is but one God. And we pray that Almighty God, who is one, will bless us with His Spirit that we might become one. Now, brothers and sisters, one could be many. One is not the same. You follow me? You got one basketball team, but on that team there's different players. And each player has a position and each player has a role. And being a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he has taught me to respect diversity, to respect differences. But sometimes when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So because of how we've been reared and how we've been shaped and how we've been molded, it has interfered with our ability to accurately perceive. And not just accurately perceive, but also to accept. Because a lot of times our condition and what we have suffered, we don't see things as a challenge, but we see things as a threat to who we are and what we are, because our personality has been formed under a very oppressive environment. You understand? So many of the ways that we respond towards stressful situations or things that happen in our life, it's not conducive to our betterment. Because the minister teaches us that life As long as you live, life is always going to present you with a problem. Always. So there's a verse in the Quran that says, certainly we created man and woman to face difficulty. Man and woman was created and deposited with everything that we would need to be able to face the challenges that life would present us with. And the greatest challenge that we as a people have been presented with is the challenge of oppression. Oppression. And when you have been oppressed for a certain amount of time, then what you begin to do is you begin to internalize that oppression. And internalized oppression happens when you begin to do to each other what your oppressor have done to you. Because you begin to, when they rob you of your identity, you begin to take on their identity. You follow me? When they rob you of your identity, you begin to take on their identity. So after a while, they no longer have to do to you what they want to do to you because you're going to do it to yourself. So again, although we are the original people, although we are the direct descendants of God, our experience and sojourn here in America has made us genetically vulnerable to certain things. You follow me? So sometimes we have a genetic predisposition to certain illnesses and certain mentalities. We have a genetic predisposition to certain illnesses and certain mentalities. And we don't understand that. All we see is the surface. All we see is the symptom, but we don't see the cause. See, violence is a symptom of a cause that many of us don't know. So since we don't know the cause, I'm only looking at the symptom and I begin to think that's who you are and that's what you are. Because I can't see beyond your behavior. But if we are going to be redeemers and be redemptive, then we got to see beyond the fault and look at the need. And that takes a certain level of patience, tolerance, and love. But if I don't have enough love for myself, then I'm not going to have enough love for you. I'm not going to be able to see beyond your faults or your apparent faults long enough to be able to help your needs. There's a saying that behind every behavior, there's a need, and behind every need, there's an emotion. Behind every behavior, there's a need, and behind every need, there's an emotion. So if you got a need, my brother, and your need is not met, what it does to you physiologically is that it creates tension. It creates tension in the body because the need is not being fulfilled. And then that tension, if it's not met, it ultimately produces stress. And that stress ultimately produces frustration. And when you have chronic and consistent and persistent frustration is when you are constantly blocked from a goal. And when you are constantly blocked from a goal and you become frustrated, one of the, I would say, things that happen when you are frustrated is that it produces aggression. It produces aggression. You follow me? So you might be frustrated, my brother, because of something that happened in your home. Violence in the community starts in the home. You understand? But what happens ultimately is I might not be the source of your frustration. You understand? I might not be the source of your frustration. But since the first law of nature, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us is self-preservation, then whenever the body is under assault or attack, the first thing that the mind begins to do is try to help it to preserve itself. So if you under frustration, but you can't attack the source of your frustration, then you begin to displace that frustration. So many of the things that we see in our community, we might call it gangster. I say, no, it's just displaced aggression.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
See, the brother is really not the object of my anger and my frustration, but he's just there. See, it's really a relationship that I had or didn't have with my father. It's really a relationship that I had or didn't have with my mother. See, and maybe mother is gone or father is gone, or I can't really speak to them like I want to, but the brother is here and he's convenient and I'm mad as hell, but you know what, then I'm gonna get you. But it's really not you. It's based on a relationship that I did not have, or a relationship that interfered with myself.
Yes, sir.
You follow me?
Yes, sir.
But again, a lot of times we look at the symptoms of violence, but we don't necessarily know the cause. So we can't reduce a very complex issue and oversimplify it to one thing. The things that you see in our community is multifactorial, meaning that there's many different factors that contribute to the young man or the young woman that you see that might seem disagreeable. There's many factors. And one of the main factors my teacher teaches us, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, is our disrespect of the woman. I'm sorry, brothers, but that's what it is. Because all life comes through who? A woman. So a community cannot rise any higher than its woman. So if your woman is disrespected and she's down, then psychologically she's going to infuse that in the womb or the child that's growing in her womb.
Yes, sir.
So this is how many of us come out genetically predisposed to violence or hatred. Because if your father got your mother pregnant and then when she told him she was pregnant, man, that shit ain't mine, then automatically it produced the thought of death in her mind. So she's feeding and contemplating, should I kill this thing that's in my stomach? So then you wonder why when the young man come out, he ready to kill. Man, this thing is multidimensional,
Yes, sir.
brothers.
Yes, sir.
You understand? And it's not a black and white thing. It's not a this or that. And in order for us to correct what it is that needs to be corrected, it's going to take time and patience and a high degree of tolerance and understanding. See? I know a lot of times, and forgive me if I'm jumping, I know I don't got much time, but you see the man with the cigarette, don't you? The man with the weed. And I really appreciate the respect that we have. You see the bro, I'm sorry, brother, I ain't mean that, but I understand. I'm not judging that. I'm not looking at the weed. I'm looking at it's something that you need that's inside the weed. I'm not looking at the nicotine. I'm looking at the chemical that you're trying to get from the nicotine. See, the cigarette or the alcohol is just a symptom of something that the mind and the body has been deprived of. See? And you are now trying to artificially get it back because the mind has been deprived of the ability to be able to give the body what it needs to be able to sustain itself. The greatest painkiller that you can ever have is right between your two ears.
Right.
See? God has given man everything he needs to be able to deal with the challenges of life. But when you are deprived of the knowledge of yourself, then your mind don't function at an optimal level. So now the greatest drugstore that you can have is right here in your mind. The body God created to be able to help you against pain and trauma, right? Endorphins, certain neurotransmitters that God gave you to be able to heal yourself. But when you've been robbed of the knowledge of yourself, then your mind don't function like it should. So instead of going up into your mind to get that which is natural, you got to go to the corner to get that which is artificial. God made you to live, not to die.
Right.
He made us to live, not to die. Last point, I'm going, brother. The minister teaches us, look at the word violence. He said, that's a great word, brother. He said, vi means full of, and lynch means force. Violence. So violence means full of force. And a force is anything that pushes or pulls on an object.
So what is it that pulls us outside of our home and pushes us toward one another? What is the force? Sometimes the force is neglect. Sometimes the force is abuse. Sometimes the force is an environment that doesn't welcome us, but it invalidates us. And when you are in an environment that invalidates your emotion, you don't learn how to regulate your emotion, you learn how to suppress your emotions. So a lot of us walk around, we droop because we are suppressing so much that we've been never able to share. And when you did speak something, maybe mom ain't want to hear it, or man, get that shit out of here. So you become what? Cold and isolated, right?
Right.
So a lot of times we have trust issues. And you can't grow and build adequate relationships without trust. And it's hard for some of us to trust because why? We've been betrayed and done wrong so many times by people that look like you. So automatically when you come, you have a slant. I don't really know if I can trust you, bro. Why? Because I've been done wrong so many times that I gotta defend and protect myself. Not that it's you necessarily, brother Imam, but that shit ain't happening to me again. So it's not that we cold naturally. We're not cold people naturally. We are people of warmth and love and spirit. But what happens when you are constantly under threat, brother, right? The pain of that emotion begins to overwhelm you. And when the body can't deal with the pain of being overwhelmed, it begins to disconnect. And you become numb. Not that you want to be numb, but what? The pain that I'm feeling is too much for me to handle. So the body numbs you out. Because I don't want to feel no more. So that's why our young people, man, why they seem so cold? Not that they cold naturally, but the circumstance and the environment has made them cold artificially.
Right.
They disconnected. I don't want nothing. I don't want that. Yo, why they ain't messing with the older people? Because the adults have become the source of their pain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, as older people, we remind them of their pain. Get the fuck away from me, bro. I don't want to hear it. So we got to combat their apathy with a high level of empathy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got to understand. That ain't you, little bro.
Right.
And the more I understand that, the more I can be patient with you. The more I can be tolerant with you.
Yes, sir.
The more I can say, the more I can tolerate what appears to be disrespect. Man, get that shit out of my face. Yes, sir, brother. Because I know it's not a slight towards me. You just mad and angry.
Yes, sir.
At a condition that you had nothing to do with.
Yes, sir.
So, so much to say, but I ain't going to say it all today. But man, you said enough, brother. Man, I see my brother Tut here, man. I love you, brother. Tut, I want to acknowledge these brothers if I could. Man, brother Tut, brother Jimmy Woo, other brother from New Direction. Of course, brother here. I want to acknowledge brother Byron right here. See that brother in that trench coat, that beautiful looking brother? Good brother right there, man. Brother Kirby. And I want to acknowledge all you here. We really appreciate you. And everybody here has a certain level of expertise. They just called me up here. I ain't up here because I think I'm better or I know. No, sir. Everybody up here can sit up here and talk. You understand? We are a very talented community and people, and we've done a lot in terms of trying to intervene with violence and help men against violence. I don't want you to misperceive me as being up here in this suit, this bow tie, he know it all. I don't. You understand? I'm just another vessel that's here to help and give what my leading teacher has given me. And the greatest thing he gave me was not to judge me. See, not to judge me in a seminal state when I'm trying to grow and get my legs under my feet. Get my legs under my body. And I'm saying to us, brothers, and we just got to be a little bit more tolerant with each other.
Yes, sir.
Just give each other the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, sir.
See? Slow the hostility down. Don't always jump on the eye. Man, I understand.
Yes, sir.
That's all I'm saying. Don't always think the worst of each other. Be more patient with each other, more tolerant with each other. Because you got to look at the context in which we trying to labor. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
We've been under this, listen, for 300 years. We were verbally abused. You think that just go away in 20 years or 30 years? That shit is deep down in our genetics. And one of the things that the slave master did to incline us to his way is he mixed his blood in with ours. So many of us are biologically vulnerable to certain things. See? You wonder why some of us got certain inclinations or leanings toward things. Damn, some of us got certain inclinations toward nicotine, toward alcohol. It's why it's in our, some of us toward sugar, right? It's just in us. Some of us also got certain inclinations toward snitching too and betrayal. No, because all of our ancestors wasn't with Nat Turner. Right. Some of them was the ones that he did it. It's just in us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But because, again, we come from fractured families and we don't always know the depth of our uncles and we don't really know. So we come out with an inclination towards a certain behavior. And you're like, damn, where this come from? You couldn't really talk to your father or maybe your father's father or your father's father and say, why do I like to be an adulteress and abuse women? Because grandpa was an adulteress, abusing women.
Yes, sir.
See? So again, when you go to the doctor, they get, yo, man, what's going on with me? He asks your family history.
Right. Right.
Yo, does diabetes, sugars run in your family? Oh, I don't even know, doc. But if you knew, then that can what? Help you curb your behavior. Let me stay away from them cakes.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can't drink them Arizonas, Jimmy Woo. That shit is in your blood. So if you drink that, you got a greater propensity that you're going to be a diabetic. So some of what we are suffering is deep in the bloodline. And some of us are more genetically vulnerable than others toward anger, sadness, despair, certain dispositions emotionally that maybe we don't know. So I'm asking all of us, man, look at your family history. How do you think they're able to predict that if the father was in jail, it's a great chance that the son gonna follow suit? That's how they're able to predict and do these studies.
Yes, sir.
See? So it's deeper than just you. And most times it didn't start with you, brother. Maybe it started with somebody that's in the bloodline or the family that you ain't even aware of. And you think, man, it's just how I am. No, it's just how you were made. Because God made all of us in his image and his likeness. And anything we do that's other than God is an abnormality. We got to look at it like, yo, this ain't from God. What the hell is this? Maybe this is something I picked up in my journey. Okay, so I just want to let you know, brothers, I love each and every one of you. And I pray that God be with us. And if I said anything to offend, man, charge it to my head, not my heart. I pray you forgive me if I forgot or made a mistake. And, you know, we just here to help, brothers. So thank you. Appreciate you. And I cannot forget. Now, Hotep, you know we ain't forget.
Because he was sitting in the
They
corner.
won't even need to, I mean, you already know, brother. You know we love you, brother.
All quiet today?
Yeah. Oh, no, because he ain't giving that mic yet.
Oh, okay. That's what he's saving his voice.
Yeah,
He said, so for everyone who doesn't have Men Against Violence shirt on, we're going to make sure we want to make sure that every man in here has one, and we would ask that you could put it over it if possible, because we want to be uniform for one day. This ain't the first time we tried to come together as men. What day was that in history? Million Man, what's the date? What's the date?
1995, October 16th.
October 16th.
National holiday. Yes, sir.
National. Let's be very clear. We all came together, no matter where we was from, and we was uniformed. And we need to keep that going because that's what we're going to have to do as brothers. Now, my brothers, we do have some sisters in the back who came to see some of you get your awards and everything, and no disrespect or anything, because we can't forget where we come from. But we need to work on us right now. There ain't no disrespect. We had to work on us. We got women in our lives. We talking to women. We talking slick and doing this. But at the core of it, we don't even have a relationship with ourselves. So we only acting off of what we was taught or what we heard in life. That's what we do as men. But now we have men right here amongst each other, and it's time for us to pull each other's coattail. So before we do anything else, besides get the shirts, I'm pretty sure. How many of y'all said good morning or grand rising to each other here? So we gonna do that right now. Every man in here, you can get up, because you know what, it's been a long, you know something we don't do as men? Stand up, my brother, stand up, my brother. Stand up, stand up, stand up. We forget this. We forget it. It's okay to hug another man and say, my brother. That's what we want to do. So let's all do that. Let's grab a brother and let's, come on, man. We need to do that. Not just the brothers you know, but the brothers you don't know. Hey, I see you, Council President, in the house. That's how we do. Come on, shoot. Y'all don't know how valuable this is right here. This little embrace is what keep me doing the work out here.
Good.
This is hard, bro. And you know the lunch is on its way. Do not be shy if you need to get something to drink. We got stuff over there that's cold at the moment. Get something, man. Everybody, we got some tuna salad, man, let's get some, man. Look, we know how to rock this is, man. Yes, sir.
That's right. And I knew I'm already going behind Hawk. Ain't no way I'm going behind Reed. You know what I'm saying? You ain't doing me both. You know what I'm saying? But now today we came together, men against violence, right? Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? That's something that this room right here signifies. And one thing for me that I always found fortunate about my unique situation was most of the people that I wanted to be like growing up always been inside the room. They always been in my reach. I was never one of the kids who grew up and wanted to be like Mike. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be like the guys that was in my neighborhood that I could see, that I could touch. And often, you know what I mean, sometimes like they exemplified the wrong things. But I always was in an environment where I had guys, you know what I mean, that was putting on positive in front of me, right? So in that case, there was a lot of things I had to uphold, you know what I mean, outside of coming out of my own household, you know what I'm saying, I had to uphold the integrity of my last name, you know what I'm saying, and I had to uphold a lot of the things that was bestowed upon me from guys who mentored me when I stepped away from my household. I always had something to strive to keep my back up right. And a lot of those guys is inside this room. You know what I'm saying? That's why I walk the way that I walk. I talk the way that I do, because I'm carrying something bigger than myself. And I think inside of this, I don't even call it work, because it's been being dubbed as work, because now they figured how to attach a monetary gain to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's always been and always will be my biggest fight inside of this right here, inside of this field, inside of this lifestyle. Because ultimately, I mean, my brother Abdul Haq right here, but I also understand that we dealing with colonizers. We dealing with a colonization that they take our natural resources. They've been doing it since the beginning of time. and they've been getting us to do it for pennies on a dollar and stealing the rest from us. You know, since I learned about these organizations and I've been learning about this professional work, you know, I've also been seeing what it does to the communities, what it does to the people. I'm gonna keep it on the eye, but I never got into this because there was a dollar attached to it. You know, I got into it because of the role that I played inside of my community. You know, luckily for myself, you know, I had seeds that was planted inside of me when I was younger. And I didn't understand it at the time, but I also understand that it wasn't my time to understand it then. You know, so when I deviated off course, I always had a roadmap to go back to. And when I came back to that, everything made sense. Like it all added up, right? Nothing that I started doing since that day was anything that I haven't seen done. Whether it was what I witnessed from the NAVC, whether it was what I witnessed seeing done, you know what I mean, what OG was doing with the basketball tournaments and the basketball leagues and planning them, or OB, or even with the mayor being my vice principal, and every Wednesday we was having meetings inside the auditorium, and he was bringing in influential guys from the neighborhood to get us to calm down from our beefing and stuff. So that stuff wasn't cool to me then. It was just a way to get out of class. You know what I'm saying? It was a Wednesday, I get to be out of class, right? But what it also did was it also sparked kids to want to be out of class too. And the only way that you could get inside that room is if you had to come home. And it wasn't intentionally, but it was also realized that kids was doing anything to get inside the room. And the only way you could be in the room is if you was a gang member. So unintentionally, it sparked and it kind of influenced a lot of the other kids who was just playing around with it to go all the way into it, because you got a different type of attention. Now you get to be next to the big homie that you was never next to inside your own neighborhood. Now you was able to, quote unquote, you know, cross collab, so to speak, right? And do other things. Same thing like going to the youth house, everything else. You know, our networking system for my age group, it was Pop Warner. It was going to the youth house. It wasn't no social media. It wasn't no Instagram. That was how we communicated with other people from outside our neighborhoods, through sports and going to jail, so to speak. But I'm saying all this to say that, I understand the role that I played in my community. I understand what it was like to lead people the wrong way. In the game that we was playing, people don't get to come back from that. You know what I'm saying? That people, you know, I lost my little brother to this. You know what I'm saying? Underneath my leadership. And that's something that stick with me every single day. I can't put a dollar amount on that. And I can't be bought and I can't be sold. I stand on my integrity. You know, so I started getting into this more and more, you know, during that role. And then, you know, ultimately, you know, I wanted to kind of increase other stories, right, of guys that I looked up to. And I had my little cousin, you know, he's sitting in jail, you know, doing 30 years. And I talk to him on the phone every day. How the community views him and how he views himself was two different things. So I wanted to help him. I wanted to help him tell his story out of his own mouth, right? Because no matter how much money I could send up to him, I couldn't change his situation. So I wanted to help change his narrative, and hopefully he could get an appeal, and now he can come back as a different person. And also, ultimately, you know, he still had people that looked up to him and tried to live inside of his image. And so, you know, that's what inspired me to do the podcast, the interview, so to speak. And then, you know, upon that, Me and Chet haven't met each other physically in person. That was just big bro. You know what I'm saying? And when his situation happened up at the high school, it kind of, I ain't gonna say it didn't, I ain't gonna say it kinda, but it did. It sparked the neighborhood inside the gang culture. Everybody that was involved in that, you know, he had a different experience than the streets did. Us being younger than him and being young kids, we wanted to live up to that. We wanted so that was the model and the mold that he set out for us, not on purpose, but because of the teachings that we was taught. Oh, that's how you represent yourself. That's how you do it. Da 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 da. Right? Like, because we saying that's our opposition. It's F the police. It's this, that, and that. It's us versus them. You know, the temperature in the community that it is now, it wasn't back then. You know what I mean? For teenage boys. We was getting hands put on us by law enforcement. We had the auto squad, they banging into us. We had a whole different experience with law enforcement than it is today. And even for some of the older guys who wasn't in the streets during the early 2000s, it was a whole different ball game. So, you know, upon that journey, you know, me and Chet was able to have a phone call, and then, you know, he had a very unique story, and then he was able to come home. So, you know, he even had offers, you know what I mean, financial offers to come on other people's podcasts and share his story. But once he seen what I was doing from afar and people telling, you know what I mean, telling about myself, you know, that's why from that day, we was always on different type of times, because he put that money to the side and came and sat down with me and told his story. And when we was able to do that, we was able to kill the narrative. Well, not even kill it that day, because we still, as y'all all can see who know, we all still fighting against that same narrative today. Yes, and I don't believe that it's ever going to stop. And I'm okay with it never being stopping, because that's not why I stand next to my brother for something to stop. But it's to stand next to my brother because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We ain't looking for the easy route out, because what we doing ain't easy. It's not normal. And I understand that. And the biggest thing about all this is that this right here, this room should never stop, because violence don't stop. Like my brother Bull tell me all the time, you know what I mean? Our main goal is the community to put us out of business, not for us to stop. The community has to put us out of business. It should be an end goal. It should be an end goal and the next step to everything that we're doing, right? If we get in these neighborhoods to stop, okay, what's next? Yes, sir. Not just, okay, we got the decrease. Now, what do we do from that decrease? What do our unification look like? How do we multiply our unification? Yes, sir. We unifying because we in poverty. We need to get out of poverty. We're not unifying just to say, oh, we stopping the beef. Okay, stop it, then what? Yes, sir. So we should always be looking at the then what. We have to be married to this. You know what I mean? Like, we can't be dating it, so to speak, right? Right? We got to be married to it, right? It can't be a hit it and quit it type of relationship. It can't be, oh, I made a bag, or I got this position now, I'm done with that. Anytime we step off, we should be building these young brothers to step in our place. You know, my goal isn't to live and die and live and die the executive director of New Direction. I'm looking for my replacement right now. I'm not trying to hold this seat for 30 years. That don't benefit nobody but myself. And I believe if we're not operating from this mindset, then we got to reevaluate ourselves. Yes, sir. We got to really look and see what it is that we setting here to do, because the purpose is different. You know, it can't be money motivated. It can't be money motivated. It should always have a plan. Okay, we need this amount of money to do this, not to sit on it, not to make our pockets fat. You know, so, you know, it's men against violence though, y'all. I just want us to be, you know what I mean, have a clear head, understand why we here and what we working towards. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to,
We gotta stay on top of this. We gotta stay tapped in with the youth, whatever it takes to get out there. It's not even from a whole grand standpoint. We all got sons, we all got nephews, we all got daughters, we all got youth that we could touch and reach. And even if it's something as simple as, getting them connected to people who's doing the work, getting them connected to organizations, getting them connected to rooms like this. Like we got to stay on our toes out here, but I ain't gonna stay too long. I believe I made my point, but I just wanted to, I just wanted to make myself available outside of this space. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this to be the only time I'm kicking it with y'all. For those who don't know me or probably just met me or seen me today, you know what I mean? I'm very accessible. I'm very I'm very much out here for everybody who want to get involved, but we have to be involved. We got to take it to the next level. And they dropping a beat. But nah, man, thank y'all.
Please put your hands together for my brother Shadi, 8 the Great Dukes. We want to commend you, brothers, for being here with us today. Again, I want you guys to repeat after me. Forever's a long time. But God loves you that long. We're going to let and have the honor of my brother Kirby to introduce our next phenomenal speaker.
Who's the next speaker?
I can't do that because you have the honors of doing that. It's a blockbuster one, so I'm going to give the brother the...
I don't even know how I'm supposed to introduce him.
There's only one brother left.
Nah, I ain't got to introduce him. But anyway, for the young brothers, do not be in the bathroom playing and running that water over. And for the ones who ran, pull yourself together, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get it, young brothers.
Tighten up.
So, who I think is the next speaker, matter of fact, I'm gonna do what I do when I go other places. For this brother, I'm gonna stand on the chair. It's an honor and it's a privilege from day one, 10 toes down, holding the line in real life, shutting down the blocks, speaking, teaching. He's an educator. He's a brother. He's a protector. Hold on. Did I say he's a father?
That's right.
Hold on. Did I say you're not just a father to your kids, but you're a father to other kids too? Oh, my bad, children. I didn't say that, did it? This is the brother you went down to North Carolina, that was, right? North Carolina. By himself. And then he galvanized brothers to go with him. For his daughter. He don't just do it for his daughter, he do it for us. He's one of our own. And I am honored that when I came out here doing the work, you and Street Doctor took me under your wings and gave it to me, my brother. And I'm gonna keep it going as long as you're around. Let's give it up for brother Sharif and that tank. Come on.
Yeah, Brother Kirby, give him a strong black hand. Thanks for those words, brother. Let's give the other speakers, Minister Abdul Haq, give him a strong black hand. Give our great brother Shadi Deuce, give him a strong black hand. Hey, the great. And give our other brothers, Shalel, give him a strong black hand. Give yourselves a strong black hand. Man, let me thank Sister Lisa James, Hear My Cries, NAVC, the organizers of this event. Give them a strong black hand. I'm humbled to be here, family, and I'm thankful for them for inviting me to come speak to you about, this serious topic. Men against violence. The black man in particular has been a victim of violence for over 400 years. Our sojourn in this country, we have been victims of violence, but perpetrated to the world as the perpetrators of violence. Man, this is serious for us. You see the black men, standing up for us. Coming together in the city of Newark. I mean, so many powerful brothers in here. Brother Malik, Brother Rara, Brother Ali, True V, the many brothers, the Imam in here, the many brothers in here who've been on these front lines for a long time, fighting on behalf of our people, man. Brother Tut, you know, I'm honored to be amongst men amongst men. You know, this is where we at, family. In a serious time in our history and our people, we see what's taking place around the world with the black man. Black is under attack. The black man is under attack. They're locking our people up in droves. And we on social media joking about it, criticizing all type of mean, despite what their shortcomings would be, family. Come on. Look what we doing to our people. We see our young brothers, our young rappers, our young entertainers, those who are making it, being crushed by this enemy. And we in support with them. We said whatever the enemy oppose, we support. Whatever they support, we oppose. We don't side with the enemy. When our brothers are down, we don't kick our brothers when they're down. Come on, black man. Wake up, black man. Clean up, black man. Stand up, black man. Wake up, black man. Clean up, black man. Stand up, black man. It's our time. Come on. Then we see our other elders. We're dying, brother, from all types of illness. Our people are just passing away. Young, in their 50s, in their 40s, athletes, and it's all our people just passing away, family. We are in war. And this enemy is attacking us on all fronts. On all fronts. When we say against violence, we're not just talking about the violence we perpetrate against us.
Come on, speak, brother.
Come on, family. We have a real enemy.
Yeah.
A real enemies who seek out to destroy us. But we don't see it. All we see is what's in front of us. But we don't see but what's behind it. What's the cause? What is the root cause of the violence? What is the root cause of it? Where did it start? How did it start? Where did it come from? Who put us in this condition? Who made these things happen to us that we see today? Come on. We didn't just come here on our own. We were kidnapped and brought here. We must never forget that. The attacks is on all levels. Right now, we're in the schools building with our babies, and we are raising the questions to them, and they don't know. They don't know nothing about who they are. They don't know nothing about their history. We're failing them. We're failing our youth. But we want them to stop the violence. We say acknowledge yourself to better yourself. When they know better, they will do better. But someone must teach us who have our best interests at heart. Minister Abdul Haq have our best interests at heart. He's a student minister, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who have our best interests at heart. And we have many ancestors whose shoulders we stand upon, who have our best interests at heart. But our young people don't know them. They haven't been taught. So what are we doing, family? What are we doing if we're not teaching our youth? We're not teaching them their history, their history. How we expect them to wake up, clean up, and stand up. We're talking about stopping the violence, right? We're talking about waking our people up, waking us up, family. We living in some serious times, family. I tell you, man. But I'm proud of us here in the city of Newark. I'm proud of the black men that have a brother Khalil Tut on our side. And not on the enemy's side. Come on, to have these brothers from one hood on our side. These brothers who the enemy counted out, who they call gangbangers, who are peacemakers in our community, who are saving uncounted amount of lives in our community today. Come on, these homicides ain't in the city of Newark the way it is by coincidence. That's because these men in here against violence, who are showing forth their work, who are putting it all on the line, who are not being compensated properly for, who are not even being recognized for, who are being vilified by this enemy because they don't want to see us stop the violence. They don't want to see us make it. Come on, family. The violence we see is a disease. Let us understand that. It's a disease. And at the root of that disease is self-hatred. Self-hatred has been instilled in us. Since we were babies, before we were even brought here, they taught us to hate ourselves. They taught us to hate the very skin. They taught us to hate our lips, to hate our skin texture, to hate our hair, to hate our women. as Brother Abdul Haq talked about. Look at the disrespect of our women out here today, family. How can we live in a city where a young woman on, what was that, 14th Avenue and 7th Street was murdered, gunned down just a few months ago, family? Shot down in the streets. Our women gunned down in the streets, not by some outsiders, family, by people who look like us. And we're not outraged in the streets and in the communities and shutting it down. We should be outraged behind these things that's happening in our communities, family. Men against violence. That's us. We're the ones gonna have to bring about the change that we have to see in the world. We can't wait on anyone else to come do it for us. We are all we got, family. The men you see here is all we got. We are the ones that they're waiting for. These strong black men in here, that's going to be honored here today and going forward. But we must, family, continue to stay the course. Continue to stay together. To unify, to be unified. And unity is our strength. Without unity alone, 99% of the problems we deal with, we can be able to solve overnight. With just these strong black men standing up in our community coming together. This is us, family. And I love to see the brothers, man, to come out on this Saturday, to stand, to be able to build, to be able to have these meetings. But to go out there, in our streets, in our communities, to build with our people, family. I know it's not an easy job. It's not an easy job what we up against.
Right, yes, sir.
White supremacy is real. Understand the oppression we're experiencing is real. We're living in crucial times. There's so much that's happening to us. That's going on in the world. Politically. I know that's stressing us out, stressing us down. We're being forced to pick a side, to make decisions we may don't agree with, politically. And we all in a state of confusion and frustration, like Brother Minister Abdul Haq talked about. We don't know which way to go. We don't know who to vote for, who to side with in this hour. But I'm here to tell you, family, you can get with even one of them. But we are the ones who we need to get with.
Right.
None of them can save us politically.
Right.
We must have to save ourselves. We forget about the teachings of those that came before us that we're speaking of, when we're standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, when we had such great men as the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey,
Yes, sir.
who showed us how to do for self. How he said that, we must unify. He said, up, you mighty nation, we can accomplish what we will. And he demonstrated that. To the day, he had the largest organization of black people today in this country. But our young people don't know that. No one have taught them that. They didn't pick up that torch. And then later down the years to come along, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad showed us again, black man, stand up, do for self. But we forget those teachings, and we go back to sleep, and we start looking for others to do for us what we can do for ourselves. The power is within us. We say all power is in the people. The power is in us. We can accomplish what we will. Who are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? We should be out there building a world, building a nation for us. Because you see the way that it's being ran today, we can't expect these people that they're going to do something for us. We can't expect these people that they're going to even give us anything. There's lessons that was given to us to why we do the things that we do. Like, why do we love the devil? He gives us nothing. They have never given us nothing. So how we can expect they're going to give us something in return? Come on, black man. We got to wake up, clean up, and stand up. I wanted to quote something when it came to our young people. How many people familiar with Dr. Naeem Akbar? One of our greatest psychologists. On a planet, one of our great, had many different books that can open up the hearts and minds of our young people who are afraid of this today. Right? This is what we're afraid of. Knowledge our young people are not reading. We went into Malcolm X Bass High School. And the young lady, one of the speakers, asked the entire school that was there, the class that was there, who likes to read? Not one hand went up. This is Malcolm X Shabazz High School, where Malcolm X, the great man himself, that said books is his alma mater. This is what he said. He can lose himself in reading in books, but not one hand went up there. And in fact, when we asked him about Malcolm X, when was his birthday, not one hand knew his birthday in Malcolm X Shabazz High School. We're talking about violence. That is violence against our children's minds. That's an act of violence against them. Come on, man. And they should be held accountable for that. But more importantly, we should be held accountable for that, for not teaching that to them. Because they are failing them in these school systems. And we continue to send our children there, and they're learning nothing. So how do we believe we're going to change the conditions of our people? All right, God said he can't do it until we first do it. That's right. Until we do it within ourselves. So I wanted to read something that was pertaining to the young and the killings. He said, of course, the most promising young minds are killed by systematically turning them against themselves with a miseducation process that fails to give them valid knowledge and respect for who they are. These young, brilliant, but misinformed minds should be the conscious and committed leadership of their communities. Instead, they have been killed and have become alienated from their own communities and from themselves. They are mentally dead. No, that was just something that was on my mind in dealing with the young people and them giving a chance. And them not having a knowledge of themselves. There's no way we can expect to do better if we don't know where we come from. It's no way we're going to know where we're going and know where the present time that we're in. That is very important for them. And it all starts here. We have to remove those shackles from our minds. We have to begin to get into reading, get back into book clubs and getting these young people to read and to study. Because what is exercise to the body and none to the mind? If we're not reading, how are you exercising your mind when every day you're just waking up to foolishness? Scrolling on IG and on Facebook is where we get all our knowledge and information from, but there's no study going on. How are we going to change our conditions, family? How are we going to really stop the violence? How are we going to treat this disease that's called violence? We've seen what they did during the pandemic, during COVID, all the misinformation that they gave us. Right. Telling us to do things that were unscientific. Yes, right. Social distancing, wearing masks, all these things that they admitted today was unscientific, wasn't based on science. So what did we do when we see our young people with the gun in his hand and shooting and killing our brothers? How do we really get him to stop the violence, stop the killing, stop the shooting? How do we get our young brothers to love themselves? That first starts with us. We have to love ourselves. We have to love our people more than they hate themselves. Because if you don't have an undying love for black people, there's no way you can help them. That's right. There's no way you can, because they say, the teachers say, a man that won't, treat you right, he won't teach you right. Right? You gotta have a love for self in order to have love for anyone else. But before you have that, you have to have a knowledge of self. You got to know your history. You got to know where you came from in order to know where you're going. You have to know these things. It's imperative upon us, family. That's the only way we can really stand up in our communities and be clear. The brother mentioned about Malcolm X. By any means necessary. That was a man of study. Of learn. He didn't just go out there running off at the lip. That man studied. He prepared himself before he came before the battle for our people. Because we engaged in a war. And the number one battle is for the hearts and minds of our people. This is the war we engaged in. We're fighting for the hearts and minds of our people, trying to win them back over. And some of our people, and many of our people, they hate being black. In fact, they're afraid to say that they're black. That's right. They want to live in a colorblind society. They don't want to say that. I'm not with that black stuff. This is what they say. They're afraid of being black. They're afraid to say black power. Black power. Black power. Black power. They're afraid that which defines, develops, and defends what's in their best interest. That's what black power means. It's defining what's in our best interest. It's developing what's in our best interest and defending it. Somebody ought to hold the line. Somebody ought to stand strong. Somebody ought to say something to you that you don't like. Come on. Too many of us are dying in the streets or being captured by this enemy. One of the points of the Black Panther Party in which I represent, one of the organizations I represent, the new Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, our 7th point of the 10-point program is that we want an immediate end to black-on-black violence, collaboration, and cooperation with the oppressor, right? Not just an end to what we do, but collaboration and cooperation with the oppressor. And we see that many of our people are collaborating with these enemies, cooperating with this enemy, and putting our people away that can set us back hundreds of years. That's right. We are some of these young brothers that changed their life, who was influencing millions of other young people, and they don't like that. And they want to destroy that and send us back. Send us back to the graveyards. Send us back to the prison yards. They won't see us making black family. Black men against violence. This is a disease. And we fight it with love for ourselves. We fight it with knowledge of self first, which is the foundation to all life. Anything you can learn is learn self. Mastery of self. When you master self, everything else comes into play. Everything else, everything you want to accomplish is when you know yourself. When you love yourself, you can go out into the world and battle. That's right. You can go out to the world and take over this world and build a nation for ourselves. You got brothers here who are building something for us. Not destroying, they're building. The men in here is building a better world for us in Newark, for us to be examples to the world to come. You are doing that, black man. We are doing that in our communities. We're holding the line. And we're covering down on our people, man. So I'm thankful to be amongst men, against violence in this hour. Because this is a very crucial hour for our people. And we have to stand up. We have to stand up. We have to wake up, clean up, and stand up. And be the examples for these young men to follow. Better examples for them. That they seen young men, they seen men in their community standing up, showing them an alternative, showing them a different way. They don't see us all high out on the corners. They don't see us out there robbing and snatching pocketbooks from our people. They see us defending the ones who are snatching pocketbooks and robbing and killing our people. They see us on those front lines for us, family. I know this is not an easy job for us to do. After all what we have been through and continue to go through, it's not easy to stand up and do this job. Come on, they don't pay us for this, and they don't want this. And they'll do anything in their power to really prevent us from doing this. And I just say to us, the men that's here, like Brother Tut, New Direction, to continue to hold the line and stay the course, and we got your back, brother. That's right. Can't attack our brother and think we just gonna fold. Come on, that brother's putting it on the line for us. That's right. Them brothers from One Hood putting it on the line for us. They don't got no bulletproof vests and no guns and all that stuff that they got going out there in our community dealing with the madness that we're dealing with. But the men do it every day. They risk their lives and their freedom every day. So I would commend them brothers. Give them brothers a strong black hand. And give yourselves a strong black hand. Let us get ready to get into the honorees, the honor some strong black men. The well-deserving black men, the honorees So peace, black power, black power, black power.
Black power.
At this time, I want to ask that this row right here, that y'all come up some as far as the seats, so we can make seats for the women who's here, because we're not going to be no type of disrespect. He got to get ready to go, but we need to let the women come up here because they came to represent and honor the guys who's getting acknowledged, and we're not going to keep them in no back. So we're going to let the guys come up and let them come back in and sit.
Hello. I'm giving out awards today, and I'm talking on behalf of my brother. I ain't really used to this. I am new to this right now. So bear with me. I'm on lunch break, so I'm trying to hurry up a little bit. I gotta stay busy. But I'm here talking on behalf of my brother, Avon, Max 300, whatever y'all want to call him. I always thank his mother, because even though he's gone, he got awards in his name. He got organizations, and he got people out here that love him. But when he was here, we loved him also. We tried to keep him out of trouble. I was one of the people trying to keep him out of trouble. Even though we did wrong, when he was, he ain't had no record. So I told him, be something else. Be a police officer. Be a cop. Be a firefighter. Be something different. Give us something to look forward to. You feel me? We even sent him away to college, but the college lost funding. So he had to come back in the midst of everything that was going on. But I love him and I miss him a lot. I ain't gonna really talk. I don't really want to talk too much on him because it's gonna make me tear up, and I'm on camera. I gotta keep my persona.
Go ahead, bro.
But I'm also here to give an award to a brother named Malik Turner Jones.
Go ahead, brother.
When I first started this progress with the Hear My Cries and the organization, that was one of the brothers that was there with me. We was on Burger Street in the middle of the jungle. And me being an ex-gang member or whatever, I was a little nervous on this side of town. So he stood outside with me every day. I'm like, Malik, I can't stay out here, man. My PTSD. Too many cars riding by, tinted windows. I'm a little nervous. He said, we're gonna sit right here with this coffee mug, and we're gonna drink this coffee, and we're gonna enjoy this day. And every day I came outside the house, and he want some coffee? And we sat right there, and we enjoyed the day. And on one of these occasions, the brother, Sean Kirby, showed us how to tie a tie. And I went live with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm learning how to tie a tie. And there's a lot of people on my live, oh, you know how to tie a tie? There was a bunch of people learning how to tie a tie. They was like, thank you. And I went off and the older gang members you showed me how to do everything else. You never showed me how to tie a tie. And a lot of angry people was up there. A lot of people kept calling my phone. I'm like, I don't really care about none of that. Y'all never showed me how to tie a tie. Y'all wanted me to wear clip-ons and stuff like that, or wait till I get in the casket and put the tie around my neck. Wow. But y'all never showed me how to tie a tie, and that hit home a little bit. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. And also, Malik taught me how to grow grass. Right? And it was a metaphor he told me while I was growing grass, and he told me to apply it to my life. And he told me, no matter what you go through, or all the things you've been through, even garbage juice, make the beautifulest grass in the world. Wow. And that hit home. Because even though all the stuff I went through, all my garbage juice, I changed my life. We making the most beautifulest grass in the world. Thank you, Black Man, for everything.
You're welcome, beloved. You're welcome, beloved.
I'm giving you the award on behalf of my brother, Avon.
Yeah.
Because he also wanted to change his life and be the grass.
What?
So right now, he making beautiful grass.
Yeah, he is.
Right there in Hillside. Yeah. And his mother, Ms. Lisa, I love you so much. You changed me a little bit. Changed me a lot. I look at the little kids now and they, oh, Mr. Dwayne, my name ain't in Buck no more. I'm trying to erase these tattoos. Mr. Dwayne sounds so much better like when you outside and the girl, Mr. Dwayne, yeah, that's my name. You feel me? Google me. That's right. I'm part of an organization and I'm passing out awards right now. That's right. I gotta get back to work. And I thank everybody for being here, everybody that's stopping the violence. I'm very proud of you. I'm very, very proud of you. I watch you on Instagram all the time, liking your photos. We broke up a fight. I was scared too, like, man, somebody gonna bend this corner. You like, man, fuck them, let's do this, let's do this. All right. Her boyfriend come around this corner and see us like this. You like, man, don't worry about it. And I thank you for that. And I think you came home and did the positive route. Because you know they was against you. Thank you. And thank you to everybody else in here for letting me sit up here right now at this moment and give my piece on behalf of my brother and everybody else in this neighborhood, all the young people. Just change. Ain't nothing, it's smoke and mirror. Right. It's a smoke and mirror. Ain't nothing but death in jail. And when you get in jail, ain't nobody gonna write you. Can't call none of them. And your homies, gang, and all that, when you get in there, you call collect. I don't know how to work the phone. It's been 3 years. You ain't know how to work one phone? You don't know how to put money on the phone in 4 years? Come on, cut it out. So just know that struggle. You in there by yourself, folding up your little sweatpants, making a pillow. So don't be that person. It's cold in there. Thank you, brother.
Peace.
Thank you.
Sure. You're going too fast, brother. Hold up. Wait. I got something with your name on it too.
Wow. I got an award?
Yeah,
Check me out.
but first and foremost, I want to say peace to my brothers and sisters in the struggle. I need us to know and understand that the struggle continues, and so must we. My cousin Lisa James, love you, girl. You're a great mother. You did this you, right? And if David was here, he would not be sitting in one of them chairs. He'd be standing over there by the door, smiling like this.
Curious joy.
Right. So I appreciate you, cuz. Believe me, every time I look at you, I got to tell you, you're a great mother. I remember when we was about 12, and I came in the house. I was spending the night at your house, and I had this little cough. You was on the couch over there asleep. And I was trying to do everything in my power to not wake you up because you was mean as hell, right? So, but I kept coughing, and you woke up out of your sleep, went somewhere, and came back and gave me some cough medicine, right? From that point on, I started calling you my favoriteest in the world, and I never stopped. Love you, girl. You hear me? Right. Look, this brother here, boy. You talking about traumatized? I brought him outside. We over across the street trying to save lives. He didn't understand the importance of this assignment. I said, no, you got to stand outside. He was like, nah, but wait, I know who you is, but you out here with me. You going to do this. Get the coffee. I'm going to make coffee every morning. You going to come sit out here. So when people riding by, they looking, he getting nervous, like, yo, who that in that car right there? I said, I don't know. They looking at us. But they reading the thing called Hear My Cries. Boom. You remember the other time when the little fellas pull up with the mask on in the car with the bullet holes, right? And I'm like, yo, you see this? Right, but you never left. Yeah. And you still doing it right now.
That's right.
Thank you. And I cannot take advantage of the opportunity of looking you dead in your black face and say, you a great dad, bro.
Thank you.
You a good father, man. I see you with your daughters, boy. Boy, I see you, and I'm proud of you. Thank you for allowing me to be your brother.
Big brother.
Thanks for listening. Thank you. It's hard. No. It's hard to find a young fella that listens. So thank you, bro. That's yours. I got one too over there. Look.
We got an award together.
You see that there? They got my name all on. Look at the important and shit. Look at this. This is amazing. I don't see much of these things.
I don't get awards. I go to Short Hills down, so I got an award. So I'm such and I want these shoes.
I'm reading this stuff, true icon, leadership, dedication, growth, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's me, all right. So that's me. They saying that about me. It's okay, I'm gonna receive that. But I need for everybody in this room under the sound of my voice to know and understand I don't do it for that. That's right. But before I continue on, I don't want to be long-winded, but before I continue on, I am taught in my lessons, if you wish to get the attention of the people, before you speak to the people, mainly the brothers, you ought to have an apology and set for them. Because a lot of times we make attempts to speak to people and we don't even know that the majority of the crowd don't even rock with you. Because it's probably something you said directly or indirectly. It's probably they probably saw you sneaking and peeking, but you ain't never speaking, right? They probably know or heard of somebody that you done dirty and they just don't mess with you. So me being the righteous man that I am, before I go any further, I want to apologize to every brother in this room. I want to apologize to every younger brother. Tut. Mainly you, man. They don't know you like I know you. You heard me? I know Lil Tut. And every time when I heard what happened, I felt like, damn, I should have been there, because you were always one that would listen. You would listen to the elder, right? So I'm gonna apologize for allowing you to go to jail, man. And I want to apologize to the other brothers when I come home from prison, I'm telling you how I had the building on smash when my reality was I was in there scared as hell. Sis, I apologize to you too, State, for making you think I wanted to be your husband when the reality was I was homeless and hungry. Cold. I'm sorry.
That's facts.
Hey, bro, little bro, I'm sorry for when you was younger, you used to look up to me, but then I slipped on addiction. You end up selling cook-ups to me. Yo, I'm sorry, nephew. I also want to tell the young brother that I'm sorry for preaching hope to you, but you end up selling dope to me. Yo, I'm sorry. Family members, I apologize for going to some place and acquiring some information, but then I burn down the university and I get stingy with the information, but I still live here with you, but then I treat you like I'm better than you, man. I'm sorry. Because we're in the day of right now, look, so we got to come back to these slave quarters. Before we do business, we need to do lunch. I spoke to an Italian guy before. He said, the thing with you black guys, you're too tough. Us Italian guys, before we attempt to do business, we do lunch. Because when a man is eating his food, he is his most vulnerable. He gonna talk about real stuff. He ain't gonna talk about how he trying to get this money. So I'm trying to get this money. So you making me know you will blow my brains out when I get the money. So how about we do lunch and talk about family? We don't do much of that, you know. We really don't. We all move about as if we on trial with each other. We have an intelligence contest. My faith is better than your faith. And at the same time, we breathing this old messed up oxygen. We breathing the same chemtrails. We drinking this suspect ass water. We still watching our little daughters look for validation by way of social media with their legs gapped wide open just for somebody to say. We watch little brothers embrace the mentality of serial killers because daddy left mommy. He said he was going to the store to get something to eat. Little man spinning the block, not because he got issues with them dudes over there. The little man spinning the block because he really hungry. He tired of going in the house and his mother in there high and his father keep lying and saying he coming when daddy across town being the best stepdad to other kids. That's why little man spinning the block. He said if you takes the village to raise a child, but if the village don't raise the child, then the child would burn down the village to feel the warmth of the fire. If you not paying attention right now, today, our young boys is in dire need of a hug, so they'll use that bang, 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 bang to warm them up. This is true. Our brothers, we would much rather deal with fentanyl. We know fentanyl body count is to the gods. We still shoveling that shit in our nostrils when the reality is we need our woman that stop acting like she's our fucking mother and then look me in my face and touch me on my chest and say, brother, you could do this. But she don't because she getting so much validation on social media from the little dude from Mexico, some goddamn way, so she don't even realize the importance of acknowledging the God that's right there in your house. Damn, y'all, why y'all letting me talk, man? Listen. We in the day of do it your damn self. We done tried it all. Hell, police done said, man, listen, we done tried what we can do. You can take most of our money, get to them street boys. Because street boys, but my brothers from the 80s and the 90s, ain't talking about the young brothers. I'm talking about the 80s and the 90s monsters, the ones that they tucked us. They threw us away a long time ago. They didn't expect us to come back righteous. You called me a piece of shit, now you calling me a superhero. You calling me a superhero now. And guess what? I'll wear the jacket because I tried to go. You know, they say, are you man enough to clean up what you messed up? Because you know, a lot of us we come up in Newark, we get a few dollars, we move down to Atlanta somewhere, Charleston, South Carolina. You know, we move away, and it's never comfortable for you because you got to come back and clean up what you messed up before you move forward, right? A lot of us brothers, we change our mind. We want to get a wife. We talk to God. Lee, I got my job, got the LLC. I got my degrees. Lord, if you just let me get a wife, I'll be better. But we never checked the email. When God sent the email, he said, okay, but what did you do with the last 30 I sent you? The last girl you dealt with don't even want men no more. You mean I'm gonna trust you with another one? We're not paying attention, brothers. We talking about men against violence, right? Can we talk about the agenda with the gentrification in my city? I ain't talking about taking no buildings. I'm talking about taking our people's righteous mind. Do you not know there's little boys in the schoolhouse being encouraged to not want to be a little boy? What about the little girls, huh? That's encouraged. You can be other than who you were born to be. That's gentrification. We talk about violence. We talking about violence. We think it's violent when it gets to the point to where you got to physically do something to somebody. We're not talking about the domestic violence that happens in our self. When your inner self say, come from over there. He ain't real right. Stay away from them. They ain't good for you. We ignore that and then we get to the end results of it. Then it gets physical. Now we want to do something about it. It's domestic violence when you ignore your you. Your God you. Don't lie. This is why they say your mind and your heart is always arch enemies. Your heart is a known liar. Everybody in this room done been sent into a burning building because of your heart. But then your mind told you the truth from day one. Why are you trying to be dead serious about with somebody that's always playing? How you keep shaking hands and hugging people that you don't agree with? How are we doing this? We've gotten to this place now to be understanding the importance of the slave quarters with no influence from outside entities. We ain't doing shit in here to be getting no likes. No. I'm here to rebuild the bond with my people because I do know and understand the importance of numbers, unity, come together. You understand me? We got to. I'm powerful when I got all of y'all right now. Should go live now. So I can tell the old Presley, what you gonna do now, homie? I got my peoples right here, right? But a lot of us are allowed to walk into burning buildings while everybody is recording us. It's to judge us. In my closing, I remember reading a passage in the Bible where Jesus and the disciples was on a boat and they were sleeping and the water was going crazy. It was going so crazy that the disciples woke Jesus up. They woke him up now as a man, if I'm asleep. You not about to wake me up for nothing. But they woke Jesus up. He said, what's the problem? They said, get up, Jesus. The water's bugging. And Jesus said, come on, man. Y'all bugging, man. Went to the water, looked at the water and said, water, peace, be still. It was a great calm, but that wasn't the message. The message was, he looked at the disciples and said, yo, how much longer must I be here with you before you realize you could be a savior for yourself? A lot of us, we pray to God every day. We don't even realize he's been sending our prayers to voicemail for years now. We are literally in the degree of do it your damn self. If they was coming, they would have been here. They hadn't made it here yet. So I apologize to anybody I offended. If I offended you, stick around, I'm gonna offend your ass some more. My name is Brother Malik. Cuz, I appreciate the acknowledgement. This right here, this means a lot to me because they saying nice stuff about me. That feels good. But all my people under the sound of my voice, please understand the assignment today. We can't afford for any misunderstanding, man. I promise you a conversation. Bro, I'm sorry. I apologize. Brother Minister, I apologize. You know, it's funny. We was about to eat. I was kind of apprehensive because last time I was around with Brother Minister, I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go get some pizza. He was like, wow, Malik, didn't you eat yesterday? Hold up, Brother Malik, didn't you eat yesterday? Right, so, but I apologize to all of mine. And everybody, all the street organizations, I honestly can tell you I don't know the names. But all of them I'm a part of. I'm from Newark in real life the long way. From Glowful Avenue to Care Avenue, from Grove Street to Broad Street. Pick a spot, drop me off, I'm good. You dig? All right, peace, y'all. Thanks for letting me get this.
Shout out to my brother Malik again, man. That's a big bro. You know, he come from a passionate place, man. But that's why we here today. But more importantly for myself, man, so I've been tasked with, you know what I mean, honoring award today for a very much well-deserving individual, man. Y'all see me up here, so ain't no secret who it's going to. You know what I mean? But it's huge because, you know, all the awards that we got, they all say Shadi Duke, so a new direction on them. This one right here is the first one that say Khalil Tut. Right. So, with no longer further ado, man, let my brother speak for himself, yo. Khalil Tut. Yeah. They gonna take a picture of that one. Right.
Now, peace and blessings to the people. So, I appreciate you, Lisa, man. Lisa, she watched me grow up. You know, we came from Pilgrim Village. I was a young, innocent kid out there wanting to play ball, going to the store. She was, one of the ones that trying to keep us out of trouble in the neighborhood. She been doing that work. And when I came home and seeing that, when she was shot, and then her son, the baby bro was under our hood, he got killed out there, so she was going through a lot with that, and she started her foundation. I felt obligated to support that because, it came from a place of, that's family, and her son was following us down that path that we left for him. He was running with 8 and a lot of the young bros out here because of what we left behind for a lot of these young homies. They were trying to live up to the stuff that we could never even win and fight. So, that kind of had a lot of impact on me too, making this change, a new direction on top of a lot of other brothers who I was real close with, who I was running the streets with, who was dying in the streets, while I was locked up. Like every year I was just losing another brother. And it was just getting scary for me because I'm coming home and I'm just hearing about everybody dying out there, and I don't see a lot of love coming from me from out there where I'm in my situation. So only people I got in my situation is God and my family, and I'm coming back to the streets. So that the streets that's ain't not even for me no more, because time go on. As time goes on, you're gonna have to reinvent yourself. You can't come home and still be caught up in stuff that was years ago. You might not be a part of what's going on now. So I had to understand that as a man. And as a leader, man, coming from the gang culture, because what I went through, that's part of my legacy, and it was in me. It wasn't nothing like nobody could tell me. I could just say like, oh, I'm drop my flag. I ain't that no more. I got legacy in there. I got people that died under me in that. People that serving life sentence in time because they follow me in that direction. So I can't leave them behind and say F them what they doing and then try to help them because I can't reach them that way. I still got to be a part of what they're a part of, but I just got to be the best part of it. I wanted to be the best big homie I could be. I wanted to show my brothers a better way. And I knew it was going to be a challenge coming home, trying to push peace to a culture that only respect violence. The culture that we come from, if you the goonest dude or the most wolf out there, people gonna respect you. But they gonna either kill you or send you to jail forever. So you still lose either way. So if I'm coming back out here pushing peace to a culture who I normally respect violence, that actually could be dangerous for me. Somebody could want to get me out of the way because, oh, he's soft now, we can do this and do that. So people don't understand what we go through doing this work and pushing this movement out here. And to get this award is some validation for me to be able to feel good about what I'm doing. I can have this on my wall, my grandmother's house, my mother's house, and say, that's what your son accomplished. And to get an award for pushing peace shows us that culture don't only respect violence, that the culture do respect peace. So now that guys like us who come from it pushing this peace, is gonna make it more popular in our culture, and it's gonna make it more popular with our younger bros to understand that respect is everything, and we gotta take care of our community and these movements that's being created out here the same way the blood movements, the Crips, and all that stuff was created. We got these new movements coming now, New Direction, One Hood, all that stuff is like the same thing, but it's just a new way. We just trying to re-educate our minds and have us pushing towards building our own systems so that we can combat those systems that's in place to neutralize our people. Even with the situation now going on with the police raging war against us for pushing peace, like we understand what we up against and why we need to do this work and why we need to keep coming together and get those minds and those type of people who think like that. Not all police officers, because there's some good ones out there, but we have those other ones that feel how they gonna feel. They gonna feel like that against me probably for the rest of their life. No matter how many lives I save, how many peaceful situations we break up, it's gonna always be personal for them because they got that blue wall, that code. We need to build that black wall, that people wall out here. We need to build that new direction wall, that one hood wall. We got to build it for each other. It don't matter who getting accolades and Grammys. Whoever, if we win, we all gonna win because we pushing for us. This ain't tech new direction, it's our new direction. It's the culture new direction, it's for the people. You know, so there's no big eyes, no little U's. We all one. We come together, we come with a good plan, we push it to the people. I can't push the city forward by myself, it's impossible. We need a team. We need a team of bros to come together, everybody understanding their positions and their roles, and we push through, and we can make things happen, but we gotta come together and we gotta trust the process. So these events right here and things like this therapeutic for us, because it's showing us where we at. A lot of these images gonna be put out there to the people to let the culture know it's a new movement, it's a new day and age out here, and we got strong, righteous, militant people coming through these trenches, getting it right. And that's the only way we're gonna be able to clean our city up. And we have to do it for each other. We can't do it for political gain, we can't do it for this, we can't do it for votes, none of it. We gotta do it for us, the people. And then we're gonna follow who we need to follow. When we feel like the people that empowered us to be in position to do all this, we're gonna make that right decision. That's a no-brainer. But it's coming from a place of love and respect, because we know who for us and who ain't. Nobody can say no magical words to trick us in nothing. We watch your actions out here. We see how you move, and we follow that. And that's how I've always been. And that's why a lot of people have a problem with me, because I see through fake. I'm real. I done been through real things in my life. I done been through stuff that people wouldn't have made it back from. I ain't even tell my story yet really out here. Stuff I went through in prison, being accused of a police officer coming in. The enemy got me in they arms, in they shackles, accused of killing one of them. I ain't getting no warm treatment. I ain't got a whole bunch of people in the jails rioting ready to kill police for me. They said they ready to kill me though. The only one kept me through that was God Allah. That's it. He kept me through that. So me coming home, I owe that to him. And I was in that cell when I was 25 a lockdown. I couldn't see my mother, family, make no calls or nothing for months and months and months. And they pushing this bullcrap food I gotta put in my mouth where I don't even know where it came from. I gotta eat that, hope that God can still keep me healthy and make sure I'm good. And all I did when I was in there was pray for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I ain't even pray for freedom. I prayed for those ones, because if you got all of them, you gonna be free. And when he gave that to me, I was free in the jail, moving around. I was moving around with a light in me because I felt that light. And I came home with it. And I held the line for the bros behind the wall. And then come back out and see this when I was in jail, and come back out and do something and go right back. I'm surviving. Every day I make it is a day I gain, and I'm appreciative of it, because I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be going according to my culture. My generation gone. I'm just meeting this new generation. They don't know me or nothing happened 20-something years ago until people bring that stuff up. We've been pushing past that. We've been pushing new direction. We don't push no violence against nobody. We don't push no violence against police. We don't push no violence against nobody. We've been pushing new direction, peace and unity. We've been doing that for the past 5-6 years. And it's showing in our community that we coming together and we pushing forward. So I don't want to hold up too much, man, but I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Lisa again for this award. And I appreciate my brothers who support us, man, and people who understand the movement. Stay patient, man, trust the process, and we're going to keep going up. So this next award I want to present to my brother, man. It's one of my strong brothers, man. Always stay real, you know what I mean? Always support me, even in the face of people think, oh, you just don't want to dick for himself, you do this and that. He don't care about nothing as a man, yo. He respect me, what I've been through, and he always show me that love. That be encouraging me to be who I can be when I have brothers like him support me. And then he sent his son to me. Like, he could have sent his son to any organization. Now he sent his son in a new direction and said, I need you to get with my son. And his son was outside. And he's still there. But him being with me, him taking the rides with me, I'm giving him the talks I was getting from the OGs, from the movers when I was young. You know, I can't forget about that, because these was my original big bros right here, these two bros right here, Mooga and OG, telling me to stay away from the streets, and I'm fighting against them the same way young guys fighting against me. So I know what you was going through, OG. And we on it though. But our first to do, my bro Newark, man, one hood, man. Strong one hood,
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you for the time. Brother 8th grade, Brother Hot, everybody who was up here, the speakers, and the honorees. So today I'm just gonna be like honoring everybody, because it's enough for me. This week was like one of the greatest weeks I ever had in my life. All right, so for one, October 22nd, Tuesday, it was historic. LeBron James and Bonnie was on the court together. For the first game, Bonnie and LeBron. On that same day, me and my son was in the classroom at King University for the work that I do, the work that we do in this room. We obtained our practitioners, community practitioners degree, and we sat in there with amongst greats. 8th grade, Tut, Akbar Pray, like amongst big people. And to sit there and just to get this, first of all, I'm 52 years old, I'm in a college class now. I haven't been to school for, I don't even know when to even add up how many years, but it's alhamdulillah. It's a blessing, and I felt good. You know, I see my brother, my god brother, Big Seven, and his son, Tracy said, they on the stage, he's 52 years old, he hype man for his son and everything. And just me sitting in that classroom with my son, like, getting something for my community, getting more strength. You know, these awards, it don't mean nothing. Like, I wish I could break it up in 30 pieces and give it to my One Hood brothers. As a matter of fact, I want all my One Hood brothers to stand up. You know, acknowledge all of them. And sisters. Before I announce them, I want to just thank Allah first. I want to thank Ras Baraka for creating One Hood, our mayor, and I want to thank Deputy Mayor Keisha Uri. I love you. You are a queen. I want to thank Vice President of the Board of Education, Dawn Haynes. You the best. I want to thank my two presidents of One Hood, Brother Ra right there, and Brother Buddha. Then I got my brother Tut, Sister Leah, Akadu, Jimmy Woo, G Sexy, Dom, Prince, Lil Guy G, Jerry, Ant, Germ, Mid, Ruben, Wally, Balif, Bleed, Supreme, QS, Alif Bads right there, my good brother. Jason, Flip, Brother Flip, alhamdulillah, always there for me, always pull me up. Hot Rod, Wally Ish, World, and I want to say Free Shaheed and K. So, that's it I got for y'all. And I want to thank also my mentor, my teacher, my uncle, and my imam, Akil Matei. My brothers and sisters, they all came and showed me support. My nephew, my sister Aldor, my brother Kareem, my brother Bahir, my son Amari, my son Zaki, and free my son Nas. Assalamu alaikum, peace. I better say my daughters too, Samira and Shayan. I got the next honoree, this brother. Since I was little, I looked up to him. He's a Baraka. His father was great. His brother's great. His sister's beautiful. She was great. I used to hang with his little brother, Ahi. His brother, Mitty, he's great. He's in the City Hall, our chief of staff. This brother, I don't even know what more to say. OB, you the hardest, Barack. You the hardest one. I love you.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank Lisa and all the honorees that came out today. When the brother said apologize, where at? What believe that? You right there, that's true. So it's something that I want to share, and it's the best time to share right now. You know, I might get emotional because the 22nd, well, the 23rd was my sister's birthday. She died of domestic violence. So we say we want to apologize. There's a brother that I grew up with in the city of Newark. We did everything from youth sports to everything. We let people get in between us. We did amazing things together. We helped millions of kids. I don't care what nobody say. But this right now, I'm the Terrell Owens of the city of Newark. You can laugh what you want, which is true. We save more kids in the city of Newark than anybody. Some of you in here, your kids, they kids, other kids. But sometimes who you associated with, and sometimes who you associated with and who you're around, you get punished. But I want to apologize to Sean McCray because politics got in between our friendship, our familyhood, and everything that we have. And it was the right time to do it. We need to stand up. And I want people to know that. It's always the right time to do it. If we let politics come in between our friendship. And there's a quote that I want to say before I just say, you know, I see my man out Tariq White there. He stole our football equipment. When he was in high school. I'm a little nervous, but I'm gonna tell you this, and we gotta understand this. Once we understand that our youth are not gangsters, they are just emotional little boys looking for the right conversation. The right conversation. Because a lot of times our kids, because I was one of those little kids, we want to start telling the truth. We're going to keep it real. We was outside doing the same things, but we had dignity and soul. It's people who would never be in these rooms like a Danny Bass, David Clark, you know, those guys, Ali Muslim. They raised us, but they raised us not to do what they was doing. They taught us how to fight, how to keep the communities together. We talk about community. We was taking care of the community way before this stuff even started. 10th Street playing Chadwick playing Baldwin, South Point Avenue playing 7th Avenue. So we kept the community together with sports. We learned each other through sports and parties. That's how we learned each other. And as we got older, we began to do foolishness. We leave that behind there. But growing up, we took care of each other. We use sports as a tool to keep things together. And the only way we're going to get this thing better in our community, we got to work on the school system. They need better breakfast, they need better lunch, and they need to take goddamn gym with gym clothes. Because we took gym with gym clothes. They take gym with boots and sleep. Man, we learned everything. We learned how to play kickball, volleyball, punchball, baseball, basketball, football, and gym. But now they don't do none of that. They don't do any of that. So, right, they don't go outside because the teachers park their cars in the playground. So if we want to start something, because we went to school, we was real poor. We was real poor. There was 5 of us in the house. I had 1 pair of sneakers and 1 pair of shoes. I had school clothes and I had play clothes. Right? And we couldn't go in the refrigerator all the time. My mother was shopping once a month. Once a month. And we managed that. We didn't talk about each other. If you knock on somebody's door today, you need some sugar. I had to go crack, something wrong with her. But back then, you knock on somebody, yo, my mom gonna give you some bread next week when she get paid. Is it okay? Oh, no problem. So we talk about family and unity and coming back together. That's what we gotta start back to, right? And if it wasn't for Malik, we gotta learn how to apologize to each other. If you're a man and you can't apologize to another man, there's something wrong with you. That's right. And Tut told the right stories. People be coming home, be lying. And be telling these kids shit that they know they didn't do. It's the truth. And then when the real one come around, they're like, oh, that nigga hate, that nigga hate. No. Sit down and learn something. Well, everything got to be sincere, though. If it's not sincere, don't even do it. It got to be sincere. We could be here all day, every day. If it's not sincere, don't do it. I tell the kids when I go to the schools now, you looking up the people who ain't gonna never come see you. You go to a concert and praise all these people, but somebody here every day trying to teach you something, trying to give you something, trying to do something for you, and you won't do it. But somebody who's telling you to kill, steal, and do a whole bunch of stuff, you praise them. So we got to come together every day collectively with solutions. We know what the problem is, with some real solutions. I want to thank Lisa. I want to thank everybody. We just got to come together, man. If you got a problem with somebody, pull them to the side. But you don't have no problem with them. You got a problem with the work they doing. And you're jealous. And you find other people, right? You find other people that dislike him, and they'll find other people that dislike him. Now you got 5 people that don't even know you dislike you. And then you see one of them by themselves by the mall, you think, yo, what's up, what's up? They really don't want to talk because they really don't know you. But moving forward, man, like I said, that was sincere. I want to apologize to Sean because politics got in between our friendship, our whole ship, and all the shit that we did together. So just moving forward, man, Lisa, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You done, man.
That's the story. You stole equipment.
I apologize for that, brother. Good afternoon. Distinct honor. My name is Alfred White, founder, executive director, Leaders for Life. Yeah, Coach White. Dr. White. That's right. This brother I've known 38, 39 years. Even though I'm a bulldog, I bleed black and gold. He went to Central. I shouldn't even be doing this, but Lisa, you're my sister. Lisa, you're my sister, so I'm gonna do it for him. But I respect this brother. He does a great job coaching basketball with the young men over at Central High School, and more importantly, the Summer League, the Zuku Summer League, where he has impacted over 6,000 young people since he started 25 years ago. So that is a tremendous, tremendous feat. He's someone that I respect dearly. He's someone that I know does the work, and he don't do it for awards. He do it because he cares. So let's give it up for my brother, Coach Sean McCray. Oh, Scooter. First of all, I want to thank Lisa for having me. Thank all the speakers. I know each one of these guys. I see the work that they're doing. The honorees, I see the work that they're doing as well. You know, I had the opportunity to, well, let me just clear this up, what he said earlier about the stolen car. He wasn't stealing cars. That was a nickname I gave him because he played basketball, and I used to do the mic at the mayor's tournament, and his team, Moment of Youth, was always in my league, and they played the mayor's tournament, and he was reckless on the basketball court. He had no problem contact, just doing everything on the court, so that's why I called him Stolen Car, because he just was all over the place. But he was a good brother. I grew up with his dad, so it's good to see that he's up here also, you know, doing the work. Again, I'd like to thank you, Lisa, Hear My Cries. I had a real good connection with Avent. Avent came to the Zuku program when he was about 8, 9 years old. So, you know, he was a great kid. You know, Lisa needed some help, and Coach Malik and I, you know, rest in peace, Coach Malik, you know, took him in. You know, he's like family. I knew Lisa since she was young. We grew up in the same area. I played basketball with her older brother. And, you know, Avent was one of those kids that he just wanted some more extra attention. And, you know, some kids need more attention than others. And that's one thing you got to understand when you're working with the youth. You got to know who you're dealing with, first of all, before you can actually get the kid to trust who you are. And that's what I think, you know, the Zuku program with me and Coach Malik and some of the guys that grew up and now working in the program, they have that strength.
And, you know, Avent was a good kid. He was trying to find his way. And because of him, unfortunately, we're here doing this. So I always say things happen for a reason. You know, I never wish death upon anyone, but sometimes it takes things to bring people together to make things stronger for other people. And, you know, he played for me at Central, and he went off to college, and like, I forgot who mentioned it, the school didn't have the funding, and he had to come back. And I got a call from a coach in California. He was coming to Newark, and he wanted me to put some kids together. And, you know, he was looking to recruit some kids from Newark, because, you know, Newark, y'all might not believe it, but outside of Newark, people are really afraid of us, you know. Yeah. And our kids are tough, man. When you take them against other kids, our kids are a little more tougher than the average kid from other cities and states. And I've seen that because I've taken kids outside of Newark and went to other places, and our kids just have a different type of edge than the other kids. And if we can tap into that and get them on the right path, they will definitely succeed in life. We just have to capture that and show them that there is another way. Right. But the coach came here, and the kids worked out. He liked about 3 kids from Newark, and Avent was one of those kids. And he went out to California to school. And after the first semester, once basketball started, he called me, and he said, "I don't think I can do this." And I said, "What do you mean?" He was like, "The coach got me on 3rd team." I said, "Okay, you're on the team, first of all. What's wrong with 3rd team?" He said, "No, I'm better than that." I said, "But you got to understand that you're competing against kids from different areas of the United States, and you're a 9th grader. You're a freshman in college, so technically you're in the 9th grade all over again." And, you know, I tried to talk to him, and he came back, and, you know, he tried to find his way, and unfortunately, you know, this happened to him. But during this work, man, this work is tough, man. If you're in it for money, it's not gonna work. You have to be in it because you care. And if you don't care about the kids that you're dealing with, you're not gonna get the results that you're trying to get. And over the years, I've lost 21 kids to gun violence who have played directly Zucru at Central High School, and it affects me. Right. And, you know, I hear people saying they go to therapy, and I'm like, people go to, you know, and sometimes I never went to therapy. I've never sat down and talked to anybody about my losses. And lately I've been thinking maybe I need to do that because I keep it bottled up. But when I see our kids, you know, like, I'm gonna use Tut as an example. Like, Tut played for me. Tut was a very good basketball player. He was at Shabazz his 9th grade year. He was projected to start varsity as a 9th grader. That's great across any sport. Right. And the streets was pulling at him, and I saw it. And we used to go out and sell candy because we was going on trips. And Tut never came to sell candy. And I'm like, "Tut, you gotta sell candy to go on a trip." And at the time he was hanging with Dave, and Dave would say, I'm gonna pay. Nah, Dave, let him work for it, because he appreciated it a little more than somebody just giving the money up and paying. So, like Brother Malik said, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? Because when it happened to you, and that was before the situation that they're talking about now, you know, you had issues before that, and I used to sit back and say, what did I do wrong? How come I couldn't be that force? But the streets is powerful, man. The streets is powerful, and we all know that. I mean, I went to college. I graduated college in 1990. I didn't get a job in my field until 1998. So just figure, I had a college degree. 8 years I was running around in the streets doing whatever. But I survived. I was able to walk away with my mind, body, and soul, and a lot of people can't say that. And I was able to give back to my community, which what I was doing at the time when I was in the streets. But I saw that there was a gap of no recreation in my community. So I created a program from basketball, because basketball is what saved my life. You know what I'm saying? Basketball is what got me where I am today. I never got on a plane until I played basketball. I never been out in New Jersey until I played basketball. My first adult figure that ever yelled at me was my coach. My dad wasn't in my house. My mother my mother didn't know how to yell at me like a man could yell at me, and I think I needed that. So it took me, I didn't get in contact with a male figure until I probably would have never went if I didn't play the sport. And like Obalachi said, people downplay sports, man, and I noticed the first thing that's cut in the school system and in the city of Newark is recreation. And that's the thing we need the most, because we need our kids involved, because recreation gives them discipline. Recreation shows them how to work with others. Recreation grows their mind, whether we know it or not. I took some kids to Pennsylvania, probably 2002, 2003. And we was playing against a team from Central Jersey, 12 and under. They had a kid 6'8" on their team, 12 years old. He was 12 years old, but my kids didn't believe it because we don't have 6'8", 12-year-olds walking around the city of Newark. It was funny because I got a call to come down to NJIT, bring my basketball team. I'm the head coach at Central, and that 6'8" player is the coach at NJIT, Grant Billmeyer. So we've had a relationship since that day, and now he's here in Newark coaching at NJIT, and he's trying to get a feel of, and maybe some of you guys need to reach out to Grant that's working with the youth, because he wants to get Newark involved at NJIT. So we might need to collaborate and do that with him. But just like I said, this work is hard, but basketball is what got me the opportunity to work with a lot of kids. I helped a lot of kids get to college, because coaches, as Coach White would know, and Obalachi would know, coaches take the blame when our athletes don't go to college. When sometimes the guidance counselor is the person that's supposed to get them in college. We're just supposed to give them that other outlet if they got athletic skills to get them over that top. But academically, we can stay on the kid, but somebody else has to give them that extra push and work with us. So I appreciate, being able to be here as an honoree. I started my program in 1996, and ironically, our first practice was held right here at Bergen Street Playground. And, the school is tore down now, and they have this facility here. But we didn't have a gym, and I didn't complain. We practiced right outside here in Bergen Street Playground Saturday, Sunday mornings, and the kids showed up, and we was able to build something. And we got to understand that, like I said, we was just talking about this earlier, we got to create programs where people not just coming for the check, especially when kids are involved. You really have to care about these kids.
Take Action Award presented to Altariq White, a true icon of leadership, and your dedication to growth and development is unparalleled, leading by the most powerful example in fearlessness, never yielding to obstacles. Your unwavering commitment to excellence in the community has left an incredible mark. As this Men Take Action Award honors you, it also ensures that your legacy of inspiration and empowerment will endure for generations to come. A shining beacon for all who follow in your footsteps, you have been a shining beacon and took actions to push our commitment forward. In memory of Avon Holston, who lost his life to gun violence on 10/28/2019. Coach White, y'all.
Wow, thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Before I get started, I want to tell you a quick story of how I met this young man. I think he was a freshman at Weekway High School. I was there, we was doing CAV duty. All my educators know about the infamous CAV duties, and the young man got into it with a girl, and I tried to intervene, and flipped the garbage can over. And ran out the cafeteria. Well, I chased his ass up and down Weekway High School, and when I grabbed him up, what you doing, man? You just was an angry young man. And at the time, I had a Subway restaurant down on Phoenix Heights and Avenue, and I called someone. I don't know if it was Lisa or maybe an aunt, and I said, I'm taking him out the building, and we just went and talked. And wallahi, that kid was so impressive in the way he presented himself to me, and some of my guys are in here now. Shadi, I used to kick them kids' ass. I break my foot off in there, but I loved them, right? But this kid, I couldn't even whoop his ass after that. That kid was such a
infectious kid, and you know, and the next year I left Weekway and went to Shabazz, and I believe he transferred over to Central. But I still stayed in contact with him, and every time I would see him at a basketball game, it was always love. And when that unfortunate incident happened, it really affected me. It really did. Coach McCray said he lost 21 kids. I lost 63 kids in my 27-year career in Newark Public Schools. And many of those young people either played basketball for me in the elementary level, or they played football for me at Weekway or Shabazz. And when you're a person of substance and you're a person of value, you know, these kids become a part of your life. They become children of yours. And when I retired, you know, in 2015 and started Leaders for Life, I started that with that in mind. Okay, we are a alternative high school, and I don't know if you guys know, but pre-COVID, we had 7,000 young people between the age of 16 and 24 who were disconnected with Newark Public Schools. 7,000. Since COVID, that number has swelled to over 10,000. So yeah, we are doing a good job. We need to be doing a better job reaching these young people. Leaders for Life, we've graduated over 406 young people between the age of 16 and 25 who previously didn't have a high school diploma. So we are doing the best that we can, myself and my team, and we work with, you know, New Direction, we work with One Hood, and anytime, I mean, we just got a young lady today who's going to be coming by on Monday, starting her process to get her high school diploma. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're here to provide opportunities for young people. It's not about award. I mean, in my career, you know, I played. People don't realize at 15, I grew up on Belmont Avenue. Many of you guys don't even know what Belmont Avenue is. Okay, y'all call it Urban Turner Boulevard. How many go upside your head? You call it Urban Turner Boulevard. That's Belmont Avenue. I grew up 474 Belmont Avenue. 6-family house, 7th floor right. Never made it to John Martin Hospital. Right? At 15 years old, we was homeless in Bradley Court. At 15, I was homeless. At 21, I was the #1 college football player in the country. All because somebody gave me an opportunity. All because somebody from Malcolm X Shabazz gave me an opportunity. And that's what I do now. I give those same opportunities to young people. Right? I'm going to continue to do that. It's nice to be recognized, but that's not why we do it. Right? That's not why we do it. We were the first, Leaders for Life was the first organization to bring a community fridge, an outside community fridge to the city of Newark. We done provided meals for over 13,000 families in the South Ward. So we're very proud of that. We're very proud of all the work that myself and my team and all of our partners are doing. We're going to continue to do it. Counselor, our South Ward councilman is my frat brother, but he's more important, he's my brother. Every time I call him, right? He's there for us. He's there for us. And every time we need something in the South Ward, in particular over there near the Clinton Place corridor, the brother's there for us. So let's give the brother, Pat Councilman, appreciate the frat. And then his son, Hassani. So at the end of the day, guys, I appreciate Lisa, I appreciate you. I appreciate Hear My Cries. I appreciate New Direction. I appreciate One Hood. You were a young guy when I was running around at Shabazz, man. I look forward to watching you play. You know, unfortunately, what happened. I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad you're back bigger and better than ever. And I appreciate you, young man. OG, appreciate all the work you've been doing. Even though you're a blue devil, you know. All of us couldn't go to Shabazz, but all of us couldn't go to Shabazz. But at the end of the day, man, I love you. Hey, quick story. I was 11 years old. Right, 11 years old. OB said that I broke into Shabazz and stole all the equipment. We did. So when you go up on Belmont Avenue, Hillside, and Ridgewood Avenue, and when you play sports, you look forward to going to Malcolm X Shabazz to play some type of sport. So we the little guys in the neighborhood, you know, we in there, we watching them, you know, so they got in trouble and the coach got mad at them and threw us out. Oh, really? We'll be back. So, 1984, they couldn't play the Shabazz versus Weekway game because we stole all their equipment. Moral of the story is, you can't kick your future out. I get a Shabazz right now, I don't need no kick. I don't need no kick. So, I'm a bulldog, I bleed black and gold, I got love for Weekway. But I bleed black and gold, baby. Malcolm X Shabazz, baby. Okay, get a son. Hey, Noah was one of my, I'm a little older than him, but he a bulldog. But I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Lisa. Anything you need, anything we can do as Leaders for Life organization to promote men against violence, to promote Hear My Cries, we're here for you. I thank you, and I love you, and I appreciate you. All right? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Listen, it's some power in this room. And I don't think y'all recognize like the power that is in this room. And more importantly, I think every speaker that got up, I know for a fact that they don't do this for awards or accolades. Right? They do this because they have a deep indentured love, not just for what they do, but for the city. And they wake up every day trying to figure out a way to make this place better. And I think that is all of our jobs in here today. Right? No matter what the situations or circumstances is, I see people, that are in here that even when they were in a halfway house, I helped them in a halfway house. Because I recognized that they had a bigger and more important job to do when they got back here on these streets. And so what we have to recognize and realize is that in some equations in our life, there's some stuff that you don't set up. It's stuff that God sets up for us. And so even when I heard, OG say about these lost 8 years, those years were not lost. Those years was defined by the movement and the will of God that was on his life to do what he's doing right now. And so you always have to be appreciative of where you are in the moment that you're in, right? Because what makes that so important is that you miss the relevance and purpose and rationale of your life. And if you ever miss that, you can't go back and get it. And so I think even as we lift up Avant today in the spirit of his name and his encouragement and the brilliance in what he was and who he was as an individual, I think more importantly, you lift his mother up today. Because what you don't recognize is that even in the shirts that you wear, right, where it says Men Against Violence, on the back of those shirts really define why we're here, right? The first part of it says hope. And it doesn't matter where we are or where we're pushing to, what sides we are on. We have a responsibility to provide hope to our community. We got a responsibility, especially as black men, to provide hope to other black men. So we have to continue to do that and push that no matter where we are. We cannot go out and speak despair, even in situations that it looks like it's despair. We still have to provide hope. Because we recognize that our ancestors that came over here in chattel slavery and boats and stopped in islands and was treated unfairly, that they still had the hope and belief enough to know that in all the stuff that they were going through, something better was going to happen. And that's what we have to have for our young people. That every time we touch them, every time we come around them, we have to have the hope enough to know that something else better is going to happen. So we have to push that hope. We have to drive that hope as an analyst for change in our communities and the people that we affect, the lives that we touch every single day. And that hope should be the thing that carries us to allow us not to separate. I don't want you to miss that. Because that thing should carry us to allow us not to separate. Doesn't matter who come around us, what the situation or the circumstance is, we recognize and realize that we are better together than we are apart. And so that is not a denomination, that is not a affiliation, but what it is unification. And as black men, we have to learn how to unify behind the principle that at the end of the day, we are struggling, and when we look at people and people look at us, they still consider us Negroes. And in order to overcome that, we got to provide the hope that is necessary to allow people to see themselves when nobody else can see them. To be able to lift themselves when nobody else wants to lift them. We got to provide that hope, and out of that hope comes love. That no matter what we do, we stand around the principle of love. Love your brother as you would love yourself. See yourself as something that you would want to see your brother as. And as we continue to love and uplift and move each other by pouring hope and opportunity in them, and by loving and moving people, that's the kindness that we show. That's the act of kindness. That's what this is about. Love, hope, and kindness. How can those three things impact our lives to make us more powerful now than we were before? We have greater access to power now in this city than we ever had before. And if we don't understand the nature of how we utilize power, because power is not pushing people down, but it's showing people how to utilize the resources that you have, that you can impact somebody else's life. And when you understand how to utilize those resources that you have to impact other people's lives, you don't have time to be playing around on Facebook. You don't have time to be degrading or trying to put down another brother, because your job is to provide the hope that's needed to get somebody else across that finish line. The kids you serving in Leaders for Life, they got to get across the finish line. The kids you serving in Zoo Crew, they got to get across the finish line. The men you're around and you're uplifting from New Direction to One Hood, those people got to get across the finish line, because nobody told them they was in a damn race. And if they don't know they in the race, then how do they know how well they're doing if nobody's providing them with hope? If nobody is uplifting them and loving them in spite of our condition or circumstance? Because it really doesn't matter the kind of hell we in, the valley that we in. The only thing that can pull us out of that valley is us. I'm going to leave with a story. There was a guy who fell in a hole, and when he fell in the hole, there was a police officer that came by. And the police officer came by and looked down in the hole and said, man, what are you doing down in that hole? He says, I don't know. I was walking and somebody pushed me down in this hole. He says, well, you know what? When you get out of this hole, I'm going to arrest the person that put you in this hole. The police officer left and left the man in the hole. So then a doctor came by and he walked by and he looked down in the hole. He says, man, what are you doing down there in that hole? He says, I don't know, man. You know, the police officer came by. He said that when I get out of this hole, he's going to arrest the guy that put me down in this hole. He says, well, you know what? He says, when you get out of that hole, right, I'm going to take care of the wounds and bandages that you have while you down there in that hole when the man had left. Then outside of that, here comes another person comes by and says, sir, what are you doing down in that hole? He says, I don't know. Somebody pushed me down in this hole. I'm injured. I'm hurt. Doctor came by, said he was going to get me out of this hole and fix my injuries, but he left. The police officer came down and said he was going to get me. He was going to arrest the person that pushed me down in this hole. The lawyer came by and said he was going to sue the person that pushed me down in this hole, but none of them came back. One day another guy came down and he looked down in the hole. He said, sir, what are you doing down in that hole? How long have you been down there? He says, I've been hurt, I've been injured, I've been beaten, I've been bruised, but I'm down in this hole. I'm trying to make my way out of this hole. He says, a police officer came by, said he was going to arrest the person that pushed me down in this hole. A lawyer came by, said he was going to sue the person that pushed me down in this hole. A doctor came by, said he was going to heal me when I was down in this hole, and nobody has come back yet. The man looked at him and jumped down in the hole with him. And when he jumped down in the hole with him, he says, look, the police officer came, the doctor came, and the lawyer came. And they all left me. But you jumped down in this hole. Now, how are we going to get out of this hole? And he looked at the man and he says, it's not like we've never been here before. And so y'all got to understand, it ain't like we've never faced trial and tribulation before. It ain't like our backs was never against the wall, that we never felt hurt or pain or disgust, that we never felt dismay or disturbed by life's circumstances and situations. But what we got to do as brothers is be willing to get into the hole with somebody so that they understand that when we get out, we getting out together, and we can make it together, and together we're stronger. That's what it's all about. That's what Men Against Violence is about. Moving violence away from our mindset, from our hearts, so that we can begin to pour hope, love, and kindness in everything that we do. And that's what people run to. They run the hope, they run the love, they run the kindness. They run the Leaders for Life, they run the Zoo Crew basketball, they run to other organizations that present hope, love, and kindness. And if you're not presenting it, they're not coming. So we got to change the mindset. We got work to do. We got to stand up and we got to do this work. Because this work is serious and we have to make it intentional. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to get in that hole with us. Thank you.